Now, Manny has a lot of experience, at the highest level and competing at the highest level, and that makes this that much more interesting. But like I said before, there's no blueprint on how to beat Floyd Mayweather, and he can tell you that himself.
He's older than me. I'm still young, so and I'm always active with this sport. So what I have done and accomplished in boxing, I think it's one of a kind because to get a different weight division is not that easy. I'm just saying this to repeat, you might forget that accomplishment. So to be the greatest boxer in the world is to know how to of course be compassionate and to show the people that you're really a fighter.
Well, I don't. Everybody, we all live our lives the way we want to live our lives. Everyone in this room have family, have friends. But when it comes to this, when it comes to boxing and competing and being the best, I'm not here to talk about what you did on the outside. I'm not here to talk about what nobody else did on the outside. I'm not here to talk about your personal life.
The blockbuster rematch between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao is gaining momentum following their first meeting over a staggering $600 million mega fight.
You know what's going on inside that square circle? I'm the best. No matter how you rate it, no matter how you cut it, no matter how you slice it, no matter if you go to 100 years back, 300 years back, all the way to now, there's only one bet.
Hold on to your wallets, boxing fans, because the two most famous fists in the history of the sweet science are reportedly circling each other again. And honestly, nobody can quite decide whether to scream rematch.
It just happened that I'm still active in boxing, and he come out from retirement, so and he decided to do it again. So this is it. Like I'm so excited for.
With excitement, or laugh until their sides split. Manny Pacquiao, the pride of the Philippines, the 8-division world champion, the man who turned his fists into a political career and his legacy into a national religion, wants another crack at the ghost of Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao will rematch coming up this year, September 19th in Las Vegas at the Sphere. 11 years after their first fight in May of 2015, that still holds the record for the biggest pay-per-view of all time in the world of boxing and the biggest gate ever for a boxing event. But the platform is not Showtime Boxing, not Paramount Plus, not DAZN. The platform.
And Floyd? Well, Floyd just bought another watch. Several, actually, which, depending on how you look at it, might be exactly why we're having this conversation. Let's rewind to May 2015, shall we?
11 years after their first fight in 2015, which, like I mentioned, is still the biggest pay-per-view to date in the world of boxing. The most pay-per-view buys, followed by Mayweather versus McGregor, as well as the biggest gate. And honestly, that first fight, I was there in person. I lived it. I followed Manny around pretty much the whole entire camp. The buzz and the buildup for it has still been unmatched. Even that fight week, the buzz and the buildup is still unmatched. Like the amount of press members that went to cover that fight that week, usually they set up a press room, and that press room was freaking packed the first day we got there, which was on a Tuesday. Still.
Because we absolutely have to, if only to properly appreciate the magnificent chaos of what's being proposed right now.
Event. The last time you and Mayweather stepped into a ring, it was 2015, over a decade ago. Is there anything you can learn from that fight heading into September's bout?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot on that fight. Way back 2015, I think we become mature right now and how to handle it, and I hope that it will not happen again the way it is last 2015. It's the experience is Not really 100%, but I'm hoping for this time around, no more excuses, especially to my condition and also for everything.
The first Mayweather-Pacquiao fight was supposed to be the answer to every boxing fan's prayer. It was the fight that had been teased, negotiated, argued over, and delayed for so many years that by the time it actually happened, entire generations of fight fans had aged a decade just waiting for it. It shattered pay-per-view records.
The first time around, I think it was a shoulder, right? Was it a shoulder issue that you were fighting through? Popped up during training. To the fans who are excited about this, but a little bit worried about another injury coming up, because we're all 11 years older than we were back in 2015. To them and their concerns, you say what?
Well, both of us are disciplined fighters, so him and me, we taking care of our body, and we always work out almost every day and playing basketball like that. So right now, I still can fight. I feel like I'm still young. I mean,
It obliterated revenue projections. Promoters wept tears of pure, uncut profit. And then the bell rang, the fight unfolded, and Floyd Mayweather did exactly what Floyd Mayweather
Watch it. I step back like I have my distance. That's why I step. See, I have my distance. Fighters don't know their distance. You gotta know your distance.
has always done. He made a dangerous man look completely harmless, cruised to a unanimous decision, and walked out of the MGM Grand looking like he just completed a mildly brisk afternoon jog.
Yo, Tim that Storm Bradley, you already know the damn rest. Look, I just got notice that Manny Pacquiao Mayweather about to go back at it in September. So a lot of guys coming out of retirement getting that Netflix money. Netflix is willing to pay for content, man, especially if you're popular. You know, they did Jake Paul. Jake Paul opened his damn door. Gotta give it up for him. He opened his door. And Mike Tyson, they've done other events as well. You know, Katie Taylor and Serrano as well. However, I was thinking De La Hoya was next. De La Hoya, you coming out of retirement? Clap back Thursdays. Nah, bring your ass out of retirement.
The judges scored it clearly. The world's verdict was less unanimous. Boxing fans who had waited years for fireworks got a masterclass in the art of not getting hit, which is, technically speaking, remarkable. But it is not, and never has been. Particularly fun to watch.
Of course his situation's unstable. I mean, this is about as predictable as anything I could imagine. Steve, how old is Floyd at this point?
47, and he has not had a real fight since 2015 when he beat Berto. Then he had the foray against Conor McGregor 2017, and he's done some exhibitions. And I don't know if you know this, Jason, but he actually made an official announcement with a press release. I'm unretiring. Get this. After my exhibition with Mike Tyson in April.
I heard this, yeah.
So that's in the Congo, Rumble in the Jungle Part 2. But yeah, it's for the money. If you, just Google Floyd's name and the IRS. All the news is out there. He owes jewelers money. There's back paid rent for real estate in New York. It's clear that he is now part of the no money team, which is very ironic. And
now here comes the part where it gets genuinely, spectacularly interesting. Manny Pacquiao, bless his heart, has been carrying a secret around for the better part of a decade. He fought that entire fight, that record-shattering, history-making, financially seismic event.
On boxing scene, something doesn't smell right about it. A couple things that don't smell right is it's 10 years after the fact. There are an army of attorneys, lawyers, accountants making sure boxers get paid at Floyd's level. And the idea that Floyd could be in a position where he's starting to run out of money and is looking for a reason that this money isn't his anymore. Paulie, what the first thing that jumps out at you about this amount, about the timing, about everything about this lawsuit? What jumps to your mind first, Paulie, when you think about it, as a boxer on the inside?
What jumps to my mind first is probably the beginning is the 10 years later.
Yeah, same.
I'm very curious about, you know, I don't want to say the veracity, because obviously that's the strong word to use in this situation, because this may or
with a torn shoulder, a legitimate, documented, medically verified shoulder injury that he has since confirmed limited his punching power, restricted his combinations, and essentially rendered one of his most dangerous weapons almost entirely useless for the duration of 12 rounds. Think about that for a moment.
To come today, official now, Floyd Mayweather returns to the ring against Manny Pacquiao in the rematch. What did you think about that fight?
I don't think anyone was expecting that, was they? Seems like things can happen very quickly.
Was it correct that you were in talks with Manny Pacquiao at one point? How far did they get?
I mean, you didn't see Sean Gibbons and call me out like I don't know how many times and all that stuff, right? It just, you know, it's complicated.
The most anticipated fight in boxing history, the one that cost fans somewhere in the neighborhood of $100 a pop to watch, and one of the two main attractions was fighting at something like 60% capacity. Pacquiao has reflected deeply on this. He has processed it. He has done the mental work. And now he has emerged from that reflection with an absolutely burning, consuming desire to go back in there and show the world what a fully healthy Manny Pacquiao could do against the man.
He's always taken care of himself, like, you know, his body, physically, mentally. He's always been very sharp and always staying in the gym and doing something physically, right? That's the big advantage he has. I mean, he's an athlete. He's a world-class athlete. You know, watching Pacquiao's last fight, yeah, you kind of feel bad. You kind of feel bad for him, and you know, even though he did win and he did, I guess, pull off a surprise in his last fight with a draw against the world champion, but still, you tend to kind of like feel bad because it's not the same Pacquiao. You know, it's definitely not the same Pacquiao I faced. That's for sure. The one that you know, put me on my
flag. The narrative he insists has not been properly written. The story deserves another chapter. The shoulder stole his moment, and he wants it back. It is impossible not to feel something when Manny talks about this. The man radiates sincerity. He genuinely believes it. And perhaps more fascinatingly, a significant portion of the boxing world believes it too.
Get a real fight with the real rules, then yeah, it's an okay night for boxing.
Who would you back? Who do you think would win it? If it's a real fight, because that's what Pacquiao wants, it seems.
Yeah, I think Mayweather will. I think Mayweather.
Floyd may do a professional fight.
Oof. What did you say?
There's word that potentially Floyd might come out and do a professional fight.
Oh yeah.
What's your thoughts on it, as a fan?
I mean, as a fan, I feel like I see what they're doing. They see like the influencers just turned it into like, I'm not gonna say a whole circus show, but I feel like they see if these people can come in here and make all this money, then why can't the legends of boxing do that? I feel like they're all the legends of boxing looking at that. And I don't have a problem with them coming back and fighting, but I mean, it's not as exciting as it once was, you know what I mean? I mean, Floyd Mayweather's Floyd Mayweather, but who is he gonna fight? I mean, unless he fights Pacquiao again, I would love to see that.
How do you think a Pacquiao-Floyd rematch would go?
I don't know, but I would love to see it. I mean, if Floyd Mayweather is still who he is, I think Floyd Mayweather will win, but I don't know, we have to see. You know, they're both older guys. I think Floyd is 50. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to disrespect in any type of way, but
or at least wants to believe it badly enough that the distinction barely matters. Because what Pacquiao is offering is not just a rematch. He is offering something far more valuable in the sports entertainment industrial complex. He is offering hope, the possibility of redemption, the chance that the story everyone was promised in 2015 might finally actually legitimately be delivered. And then there's Floyd. Oh, Floyd.
He goes, wait, what? Why? They fought the first time, okay? Like that chapter was closed. We got a definitive winner. It was Floyd. Floyd definitively won. The fight wasn't as competitive as we all thought it was. And that's that, right? Even though Manny did say after the fight that he suffered a shoulder injury, prior to that, and that he couldn't really use his shoulder too much. But you know, it's a strange time that we're in right now in boxing with some of these fights that we're getting. The reason why I'm a little mixed is, that's the cynical side of me, but the other side of me is a little bit partial to Manny in terms of what I just listed right there with the shoulder injury. You know, he went into that fight with the biggest pay-per-view of all time, the biggest probably viewing audience of all time in terms of a fight, and that wasn't the best Manny.
Where does one even begin with Floyd Mayweather Jr. in the year of our Lord 2025? The man has not had a competitive professional fight in years. He has, however, had a thriving exhibition circuit that has taken him to Japan, to Dubai.
I don't think so. I mean, Manny Pacquiao's had a fight recently, hasn't he, against Mario Barris, who's just lost his title to Ryan Garcia, deservedly so. And that was a draw in which most people saw Pacquiao at the end of his career, saw what was left of him, and were not too happy that he came back again. Floyd Mayweather has had a variety of different bouts. I mean, I hear that he's going to fight Mike Tyson. I don't understand what that thinking is. Or an exhibition. We've seen him fight and hold up Conor McGregor in an exhibition fight. It's Netflix building entertainment models around sport. Sport is entertainment. It crosses over. Netflix have got a proven model of success that ultimately they invest some money into these sort of things, whether it's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson or Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. They'll look at their lifetime value of their average subscriber, not every subscriber, but their average subscriber, and then they multiply it by the amount of subscribers they think they're going to get as new ones, and they make a commercial.
Various locations around the globe where extraordinarily wealthy individuals have been willing to pay extraordinary sums of money to watch Floyd Mayweather dance around a ring with someone who cannot genuinely threaten him. It has been, by any financial metric, a roaring success. Floyd's bank account reportedly has no complaints. Floyd's ego has no complaints either, because in exhibition fights, nobody can actually beat you, and the record remains pristine and perfect and untouched like a snow globe on a high shelf. But now there are whispers, and we use the word whispers loosely because these are the kind of whispers you can apparently hear from 3 zip codes away, that Floyd's reemergence into the conversation around serious boxing is not entirely disconnected from a rather significant legal and financial situation involving a lawsuit that has attached itself to his considerable empire. Now, we are not here to make accusations. We are simply here to note, with the lightest possible touch, that the timing of Floyd Mayweather's renewed interest in competitive boxing aligns in an almost suspiciously neat fashion with reports of financial pressures that would make even the most enthusiastic spender slightly anxious. Money, as Floyd himself has famously and repeatedly noted, is something he understands very well. And if there is a single fight on the entire planet capable of generating the kind of money that makes problems disappear, it is the rematch with Manny Pacquiao. The experts, for their part, are not particularly romantic about the outcome. Timothy Bradley Jr., a man who knows a thing or two about fighting both of these legends, has looked at the evidence and reached a conclusion that is both defensible and slightly deflating. Floyd wins again. Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, promoter extraordinaire, someone whose relationship with both fighters spans decades, agrees. Raleigh Romero adds his voice to the chorus. The reasoning is consistent across all of them, and it is, irritatingly, quite sound. Floyd Mayweather's defensive genius does not expire. His ring IQ, his ability to read a fight in real time and make adjustments that leave opponents swinging at shadows, his almost supernatural gift for making elite fighters look like amateurs. These are not skills that rust in the same way that foot speed does. You do not forget how to think. And Floyd Mayweather, whatever else you want to say about him, is the single most intelligent defensive thinker the sport has produced in the modern era. Healthy shoulder or not, Pacquiao would be walking into a chess match against the man who invented the board. And yet, there is something almost irresistibly compelling about what Pacquiao is proposing. Because sport, real sport, is not supposed to be decided by logic and expert panels. It is supposed to be felt. It is supposed to produce moments that defy expectation and shatter precedent, and make you leap off your couch at 2 a.m, screaming things your neighbors will never forgive you for. The shoulder changes everything in the retelling, even if it may not change the result in the ring. Enter Netflix, stage left, with a briefcase full of streaming infrastructure, and a global subscriber base that makes traditional pay-per-view look like a lemonade stand. Netflix's involvement in this potential rematch is perhaps the most genuinely transformative element of the entire story. This is not just a boxing match being sold to boxing fans. This is a global entertainment event being produced for the entire planet simultaneously. Netflix does not do things quietly. Netflix does not do niche. When Netflix puts its marketing machine behind something, it becomes, almost by definition, a cultural moment. The fight would land in living rooms in Manila and London and Lagos and Sao Paulo all at once, wrapped in the kind of cinematic production value that turns athletes into characters and sporting events into mythology. It is an entirely new model for how combat sports reach an audience, and it is genuinely, legitimately exciting, regardless of what you think about the fight itself. Because that is the magnificent, infuriating, completely irresistible truth about Mayweather versus Pacquiao. It was never entirely about sport. It was always about story. And this story, with its injured shoulders and financial lawsuits and streaming revolutions and aging champions chasing redemption, is somehow even bigger and stranger and more compelling than the original. Whether it's the fight of the century or the financial rescue operation of the decade, one thing is absolutely certain. The world is going to watch.